I think this Gold Cup, this one is the decider. When Denman beat you in 2008, I think that there's a camp of thought that maybe your horse wasn't quite 100%, and in the glory of winning, maybe I didn't quite agree with that. But looking back now and looking at how the form's progressed 2 years down the line, I think obviously we had no chance last year with a heart problem, but this year I think there's no excuses.
Yeah, well, there's two things here. I think that Denman did run a tremendous race in 2008. I mean, he took us on, went out ahead, and I think he stretched us a bit. But maybe, you know, we weren't quite up to it. The only way I can really work it out is Neptune Collage, who we beat by a head. I mean, he normally wouldn't be within 10 or 15 lengths of us, and he was that close. So maybe we weren't quite up to scratch. But certainly Denman ran a great race. And last year, I was amazed by how well Denman did. I mean, you were still there on Kauto's flank, coming around into the straight, and you gave him a hell of a run up the straight, and okay, we were fully wound up. And also, Ruby has just got a tight rein on him over the last, and he jumped that beautifully, and we were away. I
think this year, the race will be between our two horses. What do you think?
Yeah, I'd like to think that, and but we mustn't underestimate Imperial Commander. I know we think he might not stay, but he won the Ryanair, which was 2.5, and maybe he struggled a bit in the Betfair. We just pipped him, but I think you're probably right. I mean, we've got to say this, that we hope we're the only two, but there was only one in 1974, and Captain Christie came at 7-1. So there's always one around.
I just think the Imperial Commander, you know, I think we were all very surprised. I mean, that he got so close to you that day, but mainly on the basis of just how well he stays. And I think the 3.25 miles at Cheltenham might just be that bit too far for him.
Yeah, a bit like Wayward Lad. He couldn't quite stay the Gold Cup, and yet he was great for 3 miles and on a flat track.
And also, I think the front running tactics suit him as well, and it's going to be a hard race to. I think the one thing that suits us tactically is the fact that we don't have to worry about pacemakers or pace with so many outsiders, liking a bit of toe, or towing it along quite well. So really, I think the race is set up to be set at a fair pace.
If I was to think about who could and who would be the main challenger, of course, is Denman. And let's dismiss the others for the moment. I suppose you might just take it up in the straight. I mean, the ground looks like now it's going to be good to soft at the softest. It may even be a bit firmer than that, which would probably suit Kauto rather than Denman. So I'm sure that you have got to try and take us on and go ahead and set the pace like you did in 2008. And if we were fully wound up that day, and there was nothing wrong with Kauto, you certainly took the sting out of him, and he couldn't beat you then. So that would be the way that you might be able to do it this time.
You've summed it up, Clive. I think that's the only way it worked. It looked to work to perfection in 2008, but then again, like you say, your horse was just hitting the top of a few of the fences and just wasn't quite getting it right early on, and that makes a hell of a difference.
I think you said once, I've heard you say that it's always the first couple of fences in a big race, and we'll know straight away about Kauto Star, won't we? If he just pops over the first two, just as if they're nothing, you just know he's on good form that day, and that's the way it'll be for both horses. They've got to start jumping well, otherwise there will be a long shot coming, or maybe another one will come along.
If Kauto gets over the first 2 or 3 jumping well, you'll feel extremely confident, and I certainly will want to see a real positive approach from Denman and get him pinging along, and the odds can be drastically different after just a few fences. I think when we won it in 2008, I think you could name Denman as the winner a long way out for the in-running guys, and of course last year with your horse it was an armchair ride. You must have really enjoyed watching that in running.
I did on the...
You must have bet that in running last year.
No, I didn't know.
You were all on in running last year.
I was standing on the grandstand and this chap was chatting away about in the preamble up to the race, and he said to me, he said, "Have you got an interest in this race?" I said, just a touch. Just a little bit. But I mean, I was just loved watching him. And as he came over, you could see on the big screen a bit closer over the drop fence over on the far corner, and he just trotted over that one, and that's when you really felt after he got it. But you obviously feel that I feel anyway that Kauto Star is a great speed merchant, he's very fast, and a great turn of speed, and he will just track the leaders, which should be Denman, maybe Imperial Commander, and 1 or 2 others, and hopefully he can take it up in the straight, and maybe there is just the 2 of us.
Yeah,
let's hope so.